In 2022, I recorded a score of 60, and then in 2023, I probably recorded one of the worst scores of the season with 98. And so we're back again here in 2024 to see how I did on my ladder predictions this year, and to see if I did better than last year or if I did worse. But judging by what I did last year, I don't think 98 can do any worse. So we'll find out now. Let's get into it. So the rules for this are as follows. Let's just say I predicted Adelaide 15th and they finished 14th. For that, I would get 1 point. The goal is to get as low as the score as possible. And then if I got a team like North Melbourne, predict them 18th and they finished 18th, 0 points. So it's perfect, happy days. So without further ado, let's see who I picked 18th. Absolutely abysmal 2022 and 2023 as well. And I reckon they'll continue for 2024. This club as well, and this is the West Coast Eagles. I mean, I'm still happy with that. I know West Coast finished 16th and they didn't finish last, but just going into this season, West Coast had no hope at all. Like, they still had injuries galore, they still had players out everywhere, and there was just so many missing signs there for West Coast. Like, they were not at full strength. Genuinely surprised they won 5 games this season as well, and they did pull off a couple upsets. I tell you what, really strong at home though, and players like Harley Reid and Jack Darling this season, they were really good, and Tom Barrass as well. Jeremy McGovern, probably one of their best players. So, yeah, no, West Coast did pretty well this year. 17th spot, the Richmond Football Club. And the Tiggies finished last. Well, there you go. Richmond last. And I predicted them 17th. So, 1 point. 3 we're at. Yeah, the Tigers, I think everyone knew Richmond weren't going to do good this season. They're one of those clubs that already did not look promising and had good signs. Rewald Cotcham retired. The strength with Martin was really lacking there, and it was all really safe for the Tigers. Richmond, they just had no big depth in their team anymore and just had no other choice but to put them in 17th. But it's only a point, so we're on to 3. 16th, another huge call. Yes, it is not the North Melbourne Kangaroos. It is the Fremantle Dockers. Oh no. The Dockers really went past my expectations. I thought they were going to be one of those sides that would absolutely fall off. They finished 10th. That's not bad, but they probably should have made finals, but I'm kind of good that they didn't, so my score doesn't get too close to that 98 from 2023. Plus losing some stars as well, to the likes of Joel Hamling, Rory Lobb a couple of years ago, Lockie Schultz, that was massive, and Liam Henry as well getting traded to, I think it was the Saints. I'd say Liam Henry was the only decent player that actually was traded out of Fremantle and had a good season the year after, so it really didn't impact Freo that much. Schultz wasn't bad. Lobb was okay. He kind of only, showed up in the late stages of the season, though. And who was the other one? Joel Hamling. I didn't even see him this year. So now on a score of 9. Now to 15th, I've got the North Melbourne Kangaroos. I just couldn't put them outside that bottom 4. Yeah, I'm pretty sure everyone had North bottom 4. I can't name any other person that had North outside of the top 4 for their ladder predictions. I don't really want to go plain and basic and just have North finishing last, because I think 2023 I had them finishing last, and then 2022 I had them finishing last, and they were just due to not finish bottom of the ladder, so I had them in 15th, and they finished 17th, below my expectations, but I thought they could find a way to get some wins this year. Let's see what I actually had to say about North Melbourne. Look, I reckon 2024 actually might be the year the Roos actually start rising up to the ladder and then make the top 8. That definitely did not happen. Alright, moving on. Who'd I have in 14th? 14th, I'm not proud of this. The St Kilda Football Club. And me, who thought that was a bold call to have St Kilda 14th and they finished 12th. I'm actually really happy with that one. You know, the Saints had a really, really good end of their season. They finished off really strongly. And yes, they only finished 12th, but they had a surge and a half to finish the year off, beating the likes of Sydney, Geelong. There's probably a couple more upsets in there that I can't actually think of right now, but no, the Saints, they did really well late in the season. Started pretty abysmally. Mid-season, I don't think was too good for them either, but finished off very strong and had an 11-12 record and finished 12th. So, 2 points. We're on to 13 now out of predicted 5 teams. Now, coming to the 13th spot, I've got a club that I reckon will rise up the ladder a little bit, and maybe, I reckon their rebuild is almost done as well, this club, and I reckon the Hawthorn Football Club are going to finish 13th. Big Hockball 13th. Hawthorn went above my expectations. I think a lot of people actually did have Hawthorn in the top 8 and had them rising up the ladder a lot. So I guess it showed why people had that. They finished 7th and I had them 13th. So I guess good job to Hawthorn. They're probably one of the most exciting clubs in the AFL at the moment. So yeah, that's all I've really got to say. I just didn't really believe in Hawthorn enough to see him in the top 8.
Yeah, I reckon the Hawks, they'll definitely deliver some big wins for the 2024 season, and I reckon they could contend for the top 8 early on, if not late.
I'm going to take that, actually.
Now in 12th spot, another team that's really similar to Hawthorn as well. They're really unpredictable how they're going to go in 2024, and I think the last couple of years have kind of finished the same position, these two clubs, and this is Essendon.
I was definitely right saying how unpredictable Essendon were this season. One moment they're good, the next moment they are literally like the 2016 club that they were.
I reckon it's going to take a couple of years for them to kind of figure out where they're going to be playing with these new inclusions into their team.
That's what the CEO said as well, so maybe I could be onto something here. How many points did I say? It was 1, so we're on 20 at the moment.
11th spot, I have a team that I'd definitely love to see in the top 8 very, very soon, but they'll finish a club best 11th position, and this is the Gold Coast Suns.
The GC Suns, 22. Gold Coast, what can I say about Gold Coast? Another failed season. They still haven't beaten their record of their highest finish in the season being 12th. And it's just nothing ever looks good for this football club, does it? They've got depth in their team. They're building something with Dimmer. And if they can pick up some good drafts, I reckon they could be on something here, the Suns. But I just want to quickly see my reasoning for Gold Coast 11th.
They've turned Carrara Stadium into a Kardinia Park version for Geelong. Like, they're a powerhouse at Metricon, or what's called Heritage Bank Stadium now.
They were 6-2 at Metricon, so that's actually not that bad. Oh, sorry, People First Stadium.
Yeah, I think with the injury as of late, that's going to have a really big impact on this club. This is the Western Bulldogs in 10th.
Yeah, it's not the worst call, I think. I mean, they finished 6th and I had them 10th and they finished 6th, so, yeah, no, it's 4 points. It's not the greatest by any means. So we're on 26 now out of, I think it's now 8 predictions. Overall, though, this is looking like a pretty good score.
But I feel like what I've seen the last couple of years with the Western Bulldogs is they get really cocky with their games.
I think that's kind of true. I mean, they had like a really high percentage of the Western Bulldogs, but they only finished 6th, so there's probably a lot more that they could have done with their season here and also use these games. You know, games like against the Demons, against the Hawks at Marvel, game against Sydney. Oh, to be fair, no, Sydney were pretty good, but they had the home ground advantage at Marvel, so they can't really drop that. Probably not exactly right there, but yeah, I had the Dogs 10th and they finished 6th, so another 4 points added and we're on 26.
But just dropping outside the top 8, one lower than they finished last year, the Sydney Swans.
I'm pretty sure that's the worst call so far.
Pickups of James Jordan, Brodie Grundy, Taylor Adams, Joel Hamlin, like, they're absolutely stacked, the Swans, but I reckon it's just going to take a while from the workout and kind of gel as a side, because that's a lot of new names, if you ask me, for a footy club in one season.
Yeah, well, turns out the trades weren't actually a bad thing. It was more a good thing for Sydney. They really improved after getting those trades, and their season was unbelievable. Despite that loss to Port Adelaide and the late season that they had, they still made the grand final. They still looked like a red-hot side, and the team that was, you know, still the flag favourites despite a really bad end of year. But, nah, Sydney, they proved me wrong. And they proved, I'd probably say a lot of people as well, wrong the Sydney Swans. So, had them 9th, they finished 1st. I don't really know what to say, just same with Hawthorn. They proved me wrong and they went a lot above my expectations that I had on them. So, I guess good job to Sydney. But now it's time for my top 8 predictions. Can I maintain and get under 60, which was the score I got in 2022 and was currently my best score?
I just think they had a really injury-impacted year, and I reckon 2024 will be the year that the Geelong Football Club return to the AFL finals.
The Cats 8th definitely underestimated my Geelong Football Club. I was going to have them in top 4. I won't lie, I was going to have Geelong in the top 4, but I'm like, you know, people are going to think I'm biased here, and this is not going to look good for the channel. Like, literally right here, Cats 2022, Tommy Hawkins, Premiership banner behind me, Ollie friggin' Dempsey, the king that he is right there. So, originally was in top 4 in 4th, but just to not look as biased, and in case Geelong did do not as well as I thought, I'll put him in 8th.
Now 7th spot, falling down the ladder a bit, I have Melbourne, straight into it.
It was not a great year for Melbourne at all. They did abysmal, injury impacted all year. Petrarca out for the season after the Queen's birthday clash, or King's birthday clash I should say. But yeah, let's see what I have to say about Melbourne.
I reckon their main goal as well will be trying to win a final at the G, even if they make it or get a home final at the G where they finish 6th, 5th, 2nd or 1st.
And they didn't get any of those four.
A standout player for the Melbourne Demons in 2024, I just think it's going to be Christian Petrarca.
Alright, good call to have Track as their standout player. He definitely was. Although, again, very injury impacted season for the big Track. He'll be back next year. I reckon Track could win the Brownlow next year.
In 6th spot, I have the big sound, the GWS Giants.
The Giants. 48 we're on now. So, had them 6th and they finished 4th. So, that's only 2 points. GWS, what did I have to say about GWS? I'm actually interested in this one.
Just seeing the hype and everyone getting around the GWS Giants, saying this is going to be their year. They're making the grand final. They're going further than Collingwood ever could.
They definitely made it further than Collingwood ever could this season. But they got knocked out in straight sets, so that didn't look the greatest.
A still finals contender and potentially a grand final contender as well, and this is the Port Adelaide Power.
Port Adelaide 5th, they finished 2nd, didn't they? They finished 2nd, so 3 points, 51. This is looking like a pretty good score at the moment, but I hope I can keep this up. Probably about my expectations, what I had for them, around that high 5th, top 4 area. It made total sense for me having Port in 5th. I just thought the 4 clubs that I had above them were just going to do better. And one of these is absolutely an abysmal call for what's coming up. Oh no! That is the worst call of the year so far. Adelaide, for me, were the most hyped up team, and they let me down incredibly a lot. They let me down a lot. Adam 4th, and they finished 15th. Every single year, even before I did YouTube, I would always hype up the Adelaide Crows for having a great season. Every time I do it, they always do 15-4. Oh no, we've gone over. We're on 62 now with 3 teams to go. So we're currently in 2nd, but we can't get as bad as what we got in 2023, which is good at 98. But anyway, what was my reasons for having Adelaide in 4th?
I think they're just going to be one of the teams to beat. A top 4 contending side all year round. I don't see them dropping down too far at any stage. In Adelaide, they're just going to be hungry in 2024.
Why do I do this to myself?
They want revenge. They really want revenge for that unfortunate finals miss in 2023.
Why do I think redemption or revenge is the thing that Adelaide wanted? Like, yes, they probably did, but that's not the main reason they're going to finish 4th. Like, definitely the worst call so far. Time to see who I've got in 3rd. Please don't be as bad as that.
In that top 3, this is the big hype around the Carlton Football Club.
Alright, Carlton. That's not bad. That's still not the greatest. It's 5 points, I think. Finished 3rd. That's, 5 points. So, up to 67. Great build-up. Then injury impacted. Mackay and Curnow weren't really fully fit for finals footy when they were put up against a red-hot Brisbane team that went on to win the frigging premiership. Anyway, Carlton, great start. Okay mid-season, terrible finish, and finished 8th, and just snuck into finals barely.
The king of close finishes, the premiers of 2023, staring down a 17th premiership, I have the Collingwood Magpies in 2nd.
Yeah, Collingwood, they let everyone down. I wouldn't actually be surprised if my calls here are completely off for what I had to say about Collingwood.
They don't really normally get cocky, the Pies, at all, because obviously they just fight till the end. They're down most times in the 3/4 time and always come back and win the game.
Okay, I'll take that. That's correct. But it's so fluky. I will never get over it. I'll never stop saying that it's fluky. They're the 3/4 time specialists. The comeback kings is what I'm actually meant to say, is the thing I'm looking to fully say. They're the comeback kings, and had them 2nd, and I think they finished 9th. Yep, so 74 is our score at the moment, with 1 team to go. And if you've been paying attention and following along, well, you'll find out who it is.
The pride of Brisbane Town, the kings of the Gabba, the Brisbane Lions are the minor premiers, in my opinion, for the 2024 season. Look, the Lions, I just think they're going to be hungry for more in 2024. They're the only club, other than kind of Carlton, that I can see topping Collingwood.
Collingwood beat them twice this year. I'm fine with having Brisbane first. 4 points on, but they won the flag. So technically they were the best team and technically to some sort premiers. If you just take the minor part out of minor premiers. Yeah, they're the premiers. So it's technically correct. So technically 0 point. Nah, it's definitely 4 points because it's the ladder prediction. But Brisbane, Lachie Neale. Brownlow contender. Obviously didn't win it, but it was up there. But you just think of players like him, Josh Dunkley, Oscar McInerney, Joe Danaher, unfortunately retired now. But yeah, like the great players that Brisbane had just made me think that they would finish first. And it did show in the grand final, beating a red-hot first-place Sydney side, who obviously did take out the minor premiership. But yeah, Brisbane, I'm not actually angry with having them in first and conceding 4 points. And with that done, our overall score for 2024 is 78. Alright, who did I predict for the flag?
Back-to-back winners by 21 points.
Collingwood by 21 points against Carlton. Well, that was really far off. My big calls.
If the Geelong Football Club managed to finish in the top 6 on the AFL ladder at the end of the season, I would do my first ever ice-filled bath for 15 minutes.
Yeah, that, it was fine, that one. I did do an ice bath, for those that saw it. Did an ice bath, and it was cold. It was really, really cold. Yeah, I've never done an ice bath in my life. That's literally the first time I've ever done an ice bath. And yeah, it was not fun at all.
If the St Kilda Football Club managed to make it as far to a prelim final, God, I will make a music song parody from the song We Didn't Start the Fire by Billy Joel into an AFL YouTuber's parody.
To be fair, I actually did kind of hope that happened. I've actually been thinking about doing an AFL YouTuber's parody for ages now, but I don't know. I haven't really got the voice for it. I don't know, but yeah.
If Collingwood wins 6 games or more in the premiership season by under 6 points, I will personally have to do an IRL stream, non-bloody stop, until I've kicked more goals from 20 metres out than Tony Lockett.
People are saying I didn't even do this challenge when Collingwood won 6 games or more by less than a goal. I did. Literally, I've got a link in the description if you did not see me kick more goals than Tony Lockett. I will leave a link in the description. But yeah, other than that, that is basically it for the predictions here. But if you guys wanted to enjoy today's video and would like to see more videos like this in the future, do leave a like and subscribe to the channel. We just passed 2,000 subscribers as well, so if you want to see more content like this in the off season, again, do leave a like and subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss out on any new videos and streams as well. But anyway guys, thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next one. See yous.